Yes. All right. So here we are live again. And of course nobody's here yet, so I'll give everyone a little time to come by. Of course, I don't even know that anyone will come. This is a very small channel. Maybe no one's interested in practicing their English right now. Of course, you can come by just to listen if you want, but any questions about anything, including English, please ask them. Anything you like, I'm here to answer. I'm your friendly neighborhood ESL teacher. If you like, I could start on why I became an ESL teacher. That might interest you. It might not. I first started in 2005, and it was mostly because I was working in Slovenia for this organization, and I needed the money. It was a volunteer organization. They didn't have any money. And so obviously teaching English was the obvious thing because I didn't know Slovene, the local language. But I was kind of I had done some teaching before, just not English teaching, right? I had taught people things like sales skills and leadership skills. So I knew that kind of thing. I'd done that in the organization I worked for, but I had never taught English. And so I picked up a whole bunch of classes all over the place at like every English school where I could, and it became pretty interesting and pretty fun. And I realized that I really liked teaching, and I still love teaching, and that's why I'm always looking for new students. Come be my student. I'd love to teach you. I think even today, I like English, and I have like 15 years of experience in teaching ESL, but I always thought it's not so much about ESL, it's because I like teaching itself, right? That's what I just like. And the reason I made this channel is because inside the ESL sphere, you say the word sphere, it's kind of like area. Anyway, inside the ESL world, let's say, there's almost nothing on the subjects that I most like to talk about, which are things like government and capitalism and ideas, philosophy. These are the things I talk about, and ESL is all about the names of different modes of transportation and different jobs. You can have this job and that job, but what if there was more to it than that? What about those people who want to learn more, who might want to learn politics, who want to learn history? That's why I'm here. Yeah, so I've always enjoyed teaching, always been a teacher, and always want. That's why I say ask me questions, because I'd love to to help you, to tell you this is what you could do. How do you say that? This is how you say that. Or what's the grammar? Obviously, the best is if we talk about big things happening in the world, but anything really, anything's fine. You may have seen my last video. It was all about vocabulary for for the virus, for our time, trying to stay clear of this virus, stay away from, right? Stay clear of. And so I used certain words that I'm still hearing in the newspapers every day. Like if you saw it, you would have seen me use the word lockdown, or to be on lockdown. Where I live, we're not really on lockdown, though. We're not locked down on lockdown. See, it's more like um, we're free to leave, but we're encouraged to keep our distance from one another. I'm going to write that one down too. Keep your distance. They might just say keep your distance, and it's from someone or something. Well, keep your distance. Don't go too close. And most people aren't saying that. They're just doing it. Um, they're kind of keeping away from each other. Don't get too close. It's kind of interesting. I'm glad that we're not all stuck at home. Um, except if we were, it probably wouldn't change my life very much because my life is mostly at home and online anyway. But I talked to my friend yesterday. He's used to hiking and going up mountains and going everywhere in the world and so on and he, I'm sure, feels very cooped up. Cooped up. I used that word with him. I'm sure that's how he feels, cooped up. In case you don't know this term, cooped up. A coop is actually where you keep chickens on a farm, and usually you kind of squish all the chickens together in a small cage, and so they're cooped up together. They're in a coop, in a chicken coop. So they're cooped up. They're all squished together, and I think that's the feeling a lot of people are having right now. They feel cooped up, that they're stuck indoors, nothing fun indoors, right? Well, nowadays there is. um, I think it's useful to spend this time doing a lot of reading. That's one thing I've been doing, just doing even more read. Like I don't read all the time, but I am doing more than I was before, and it's been pretty good. Of course, with you, you there's lots of things you can read, and of course, in my videos, I give lots of recommendations of books that you could read. They're great, but I'm always happy to give more. What I do in the courses, the ESL courses that I've designed for this channel, is not so much read, a whole book like we used to in political science. It's for native speakers or for people who are excellent at English. Once you get really good, once you get to university level English, they'll make you read whole books, and it's very hard. But what I do in these courses is I try to keep it a bit easier, because the courses are mostly for pre-university students, not necessarily younger, but in skill level at least, kind of pre-university. And so the courses, the readings in the courses are a bit easier. You don't have to read the whole book. You might only read a couple of pages. You might only read a paragraph from a certain book, a passage, this part or that part of a book. It's easier that way. And sometimes, you probably know this already. A lot of books have too many words. They just have, they're just way too long to maybe say one thing, or to just say a few things that are the most important thing you can learn from it. And there's a lot of reasons for that, partly because some people just want to read books rather than like an article that would explain the whole thing. Also, books, people sell books. People make money off books. Not very much. Most booksellers, or I should say writers, most writers and authors don't make much money from their books. Only people like Stephen King and J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter, those people, yeah, they get rich, but they're very unusual that way. But at least you can make a bit of money from a book, maybe some, Um, I wouldn't expect to do it. I'll probably write another book sometime in my life, but I wouldn't expect to make more money out of it. I would just give it away for free because that's how I think. I just, when it's something like that, I'll give it away. It's fine. Maybe I should make an ESL book. Maybe I should turn radical ESL into a book. What do you think? Is that a good idea? Should I do it? Maybe the question is, would you read it? Again, not buy it. That's different. I'll send it to you for free. There you go. Would it make a good book? What do you think? Certainly could be. In fact, really, it could be even a series of books. The Radical ESL Guide to Critical Thinking, the Radical ESL Guide to History, the Radical ESL Guide to Government, Guide to Capitalism, Guide to Ideas. I don't know, something like that. That could be pretty fun. Could be pretty interesting. I'll think about it. I've written a couple of books before, and I don't really like them anymore. Like I don't agree with about half of the things that I've said in those books, and so I don't even, I'm sorry, but I don't even want to tell you about them, because then you might go and read them and go like, oh, so this is what Chris thinks. But it's not what Chris thinks anymore. It's what I used to think when I wrote those books, and that was years ago. I might write another one, maybe. It's good ideas though. Radical ESL books. I'll think about it. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, great. So yeah, this is the problem with this very small channel, is that a live stream, of course, isn't going to have many people. If they're not planning to join it, they don't know when it's, or they don't know when it's going to be, or something like that, then they won't come, right? That's too bad. I'm hoping to do a live stream like this, every weekday, or most weekdays. I don't know when exactly, but at least for at least some time, a few times a week, and it'll be around the same time. It's around just after 1 o'clock my time, which is PST, Pacific Standard Time, because I'm on the west coast of North America. So that's what time it is here. It's about 1:30 now, right? I'll start about 1 or just after 1 most days. But the problem is, again, it's a very small channel. How many people are going to come? If nobody's coming anymore, or nobody's watching the live streams, I might have to stop. Or if it's all directed by me and nobody's asking questions, that could be a problem too. If you're just here for listening, then that's okay. But there's probably better places to get listening practice. There are real listening exercises you could find on YouTube or something that are designed for listening exercises. But that's okay. You might be watching this as a recording. Maybe it's gone viral, but that's pretty unlikely. Do you know that expression, by the way, to go viral? Let's see, go viral. Viral is like a virus, isn't it? So if a video, it's a common expression in English. If a video goes viral, then it spreads like a virus, spreads everywhere. Now, I don't expect this channel, or least of all this video, to go viral, but that's no big deal. It's not, it's also, I'll teach you another word. This is very much a niche or niche channel. A niche is something that's only for a small group of people within the bigger group of people. You could think of all the students who want ESL, English as a second language, as represented as like a circle. This isn't a circle, but let's pretend. That's 100%, right? A niche will be only part of that circle, maybe 10% or something. And in this case, it's probably even less than 10%. Of all the students who want to learn ESL, I'm not going to be the biggest teacher because it's only a niche who is interested in things like politics and history. But that's okay. That's fine with me. As long as I'm teaching the things that I love to teach, then I'll keep it up. I'll be here on this channel as long as I can. But for now, I'm going to end this live stream. Thank you everyone for watching. And if you're interested in coming back, feel free to come back on Monday around the same time. I'm certainly planning to be here again. See you then. Bye.